Hello and welcome to another VanHack podcast, another VanHack interview with our premium member, Andre. Hi, Andre. How are you doing?
Hi, Ilya, I'm good, and you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So congratulations, Andre, on getting a fantastic job as a front-end developer in Vancouver. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe your background, kind of your personal story?
Yes, I'm a front-end developer, like you said. I have over 5 years of experience as a front-end developer. I started as a full-stack developer, but after 1 year, I decided to focus only front-end because that's what I really love. And since then, I've been working with building landing pages, hot site, e-commerce for digital agencies in Brazil.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And how about this Canadian dream? When did
Uh,
this start? Why did you decide to come to Canada? You can tell me a little about the evolution of that.
yeah, sure. I think the whole idea came from my wife first because in 2010 I made a I, I I made an exchange program to United States as an international student, and I lived there for 4 months, and it was great. And I realized that living abroad is not that complicated thing that everybody thinks.
Mm.
So I came back to Brazil after 4 months with an open mind, and I met my wife, and she always dreamed about Canada because she studied here when she made the high school here,
Mm.
and she said that Canada was perfect. And I was never in Canada before, and then we decided to learn how is the process and everything. But this was like 3 years ago, so we were planning to go to Quebec, because Quebec was very easy, but the only problem was the French language.
Mm.
So we decided to wait a little bit more, and after 2 years thinking about that, we got married. And I said to her, so what about Canada now? Let's try the English part, because we have English. We don't need to learn again. And we decided maybe to Toronto. But we used to live in São Paulo. São Paulo is a big city.
Mm.
And we were looking for some place very nice and like Vancouver to live in, and you have a good quality of life. You don't need to be like a workaholic. You need to work from 7 to 7. You need to find a balance between your life and work. And Vancouver is that place. You can come back to your home, and you can enjoy a little bit more your day because it's early. You leave your job at 5 p.m. Nobody works so late. And we decided to research about it. We found the express entry process. We made an evaluation of our profile, and we needed more points. So we decided to follow the plan, study and work.
Mm.
And as the IT market here is stronger than the cheese nutrition, so we decided that would be easier for me to find a job. And if I want to do work permit, she needs to study. So we decided to follow the master degree for her, because we have 2 years. She will study for 2 years, and we have a lot of time to get a Canadian experience and after apply for the express entry. So yeah, that's the plan.
Cool, awesome. So you decided to tell me, like, take me from that point. You decided to do study for her and you for work. When did you guys decide that, and then how long did it take you guys to get to Canada?
Okay, so we started to plan in October 2014,
Mm-hmm.
when after we got married. And I said to her, let's try Canada, why not? I think we need to try, or we will regret for the whole life if we don't try.
Mhm.
So we studied the plan during 2015, the whole year. We applied for many services, like there is the Canada para Brasileiros.
Mhm.
We studied, they have a lot of videos that explain the process and this kind of stuff. And we started to follow a lot of groups in Facebook. And I think we met agents in Brazil. They could help with with the studies, and we applied for the FDU, the university, and they helped us to apply, these agents. And we applied in July in yeah July in 2015.
Mhm.
We got the student visa and the work visa in January from this year, in 2016, because the process with the university is very long. So I think we took more than 3 months just to get the letter of acceptance. You need
Mhm.
to translate all your documents. You need to pay a fee, and after they will give you the letter of acceptance, and with this letter you can get the visa in the immigration.
Mhm. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, cool. So then you arrive in Vancouver, your wife's studying, you're
Yes.
working. Tell me about, let's get into the job hunt. How was that? So what did you do to prepare? And then how was that whole process?
Oh yeah, I need to say, of course, last year I met VanHack, of course, and I was following you guys, and then I saw that you have a premium area, but I didn't have money at that time. I think I found the VanHack in February or March in 2015,
Mhm. Oh,
and
right
I've
when
been
we were
following.
starting.
Yes, yes. I've been following you guys since then.
Cool.
But in November, I think it was November, you made the Black Friday,
Hmm.
and the price was very good. And I said to my wife, I need to pay now because we will need for the next year. And then I decided to pay, and it was the best choice that I made, because before, of course, get a job is very good, and but you need to prepare yourself so much before. Like when I started to be a VanHack Premium, uh, my LinkedIn was a mess. My resume was not in the Canadian, uh, you know,
Hmm.
in the
Format.
Canadian
Yeah.
format. Yes, and then VanHack helped me to fix my LinkedIn. My LinkedIn now is perfect. My resume is following all the the, the format, the Canadian format now. And the interview practice is so much important, because from the interview practice, I made some notes here in my computer, all the answers that I used to practice with you guys. And before I go to the interview, I used to memorize the answers, because the questions are the same, and everybody asks about that, like why we should hire you, why you decide to come to Vancouver, so what's your greatest weakness and greatest strength. So those are questions that everybody asks. So Van Hack helped me a lot with that. And we arrived here in February, and we 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 discovered that I couldn't work because my wife was studying English, and I'm not allowed to work during this time.
Hmm.
So I got like, and she was studying for 6 months. So I got all this time to prepare myself, my LinkedIn, my resume, my personal website is very important. I
Hmm.
made one. The interview practice helped me a lot to improve my English. And then when she finished the English course, I started to look for a job.
Hmm.
And I think I spent like 1 month and a half before I got this job. And because of my LinkedIn was so good, a lot of recruiters found me there, and they started to call me to know my professional experience, and they asked if I was interested in some position here in Vancouver, and then I started to do interviews.
Fantastic. Yeah. That's really exciting. Awesome. And by the way, for anyone listening to this, we will have another very, very big Black Friday sale in November. I'm already planning some exciting stuff. We're going to do a mini virtual conference during that time. So keep a heads up for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So Andre, you get to Canada, you're in Vancouver, you have your perfect Canadian profile, and now it's time to start doing the interviews. It's time to you've been practicing a lot. Now it's time to play the games and time to go to war. Take me to those interviews. How was that moment where, you're sitting there, you walk in the door of the first company and they ask you, tell me about yourself. How did you feel? And maybe how many interviews did you do before you finally got your current position?
Well, I made 5 interviews just by phone, the first interview. And 2 of them, I don't know what happened. They just simply didn't give me an answer. Mm-hmm. But 3 of them results in a second interview, in a personal interview. It's not easy because, my English is getting better. So I'm improving my English. So I'm not fluent now, but my English is getting better. Yeah. So it's a big challenge when you face a person that speaks English fluent, like a native English. So when you speak with this kind of person, you always think about, I need to talk right. I need to follow all the rules. I cannot make a mistake. But it's not easy, like I said. It's normal. You make some mistakes. They understand. They know that you are not native. They ask about all my history. So I said I came from Brazil with my wife, and she is studying. That's why I have my work permit. And it's normal if you need some time to think before you answer. Mm-hmm. It's not a problem. You can ask, can you give me just a minute to think before I answer? Talk slow and try to think fast. Don't worry about your English. Maybe your English is better than you think. Maybe you can think, my English sucks because you are in Brazil. Mm-hmm. If you came to Canada and start to talk, you will start to talk normally and you get used to. Mm-hmm. So they asked about my professional experience, about the projects that I made, and my professional skills. They made some. The two first interviews was for senior developer, so they made a lot of technical questions, some tricky questions, like some whiteboard interviews. I had to write code in the paper in a whiteboard. It's very common. And they asked about Angular because they were developing the software using AngularJS. Mm-hmm. So they asked a lot of specifically functionalities of Angular. So why Angular render better a view? Questions I couldn't answer. I tried to say something. Mm-hmm. Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
Okay. And the 2 senior positions I didn't get because I don't have Canadian experience. I need to have a fluent English. So it's okay for me. They were very nice to me. They said, sorry, now it's not your time, but after we open some intermediate positions, of course, we'll talk to you because you're good and that thing. Mm-hmm. And then I met Jeffrey, that's a recruiter, and he found me in LinkedIn because my LinkedIn was very good. My profile was perfect. And he said, he called me to know how I am, my professional experience. And he said, I have some positions here but if you don't mind, they are intermediate. I know you have 5 years of experience, but they are for intermediate developers. And I said, no, it's okay. I know that I don't have all the skills of a Canadian. So for me, it's okay. I need to start from somewhere. And they schedule a personal interview with this company, the Macho Bear. For everybody that wants to search, is machobear.ca. It's a funny name, yeah.
The company where you're working now?
Yes, I'm working for machobear.ca.
Cool.
And after the call interview, I went to, first I had to make a test. They sent me a test. I had to develop a landing page for a company. The middle and the staff in the bottom. It's just one page HTML. I'm used to that, so I made in one day using all the technology that I know, because I had to show all my professional skills. And they liked it, and they invited me to a personal interview, a technical interview. And then I met 3 developers and 1 project manager in the company. The guys were very nice. They made me feel very comfortable, and because they know that I'm not here from Vancouver, and they made me some technical questions as well, like what's the new functionalities from ES6, the JavaScript 2015, the new patterns. And I said some functionalities, and he asked, what's your favorite functionality in CSS3? And then I started to say, what is object-oriented programming? And then this kind of questions, more technical, to know if I really know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And after that, I was invited to a second interview with the principal of the company. It was more, it's just to know my personal profile.
Behavior.
Yes, my personal behavior. Why I came to Vancouver? Why not California? Not San Francisco?
Yeah.
And I said,
what did you say? I'm curious.
Yeah. So I said, because I know that some guys move to San Francisco because of the money. I'm not here because of the money. I'm here because of the quality of life. I came here to build a family. I came here to have a better life. I'm not here just because of the money. Of course, in San Francisco, they pay a lot of money, but the cost of life is very expensive too. So I decided Vancouver is good because the weather is not so cold like everybody thinks. In Vancouver, it's very difficult to snow. If you want to snow, you go to the mountains. But if it's not snowing, you can go to the beach. You can go. And I said to her that I came here because I'm looking for quality of life. I'm not looking for money, just money and money. I came here because I want to have a balance between work and life. And she liked it. She liked it a lot. And she asked about my wife. She asked about my plans here. And it was very, very, very fast, the interview. I think just 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes of conversation. And then in the same day, the same recruiter, he got me another interview. The first interview for another company. And then I said, okay, the talk with the principal was 11 a.m. and the interview was 3 p.m. And in the interview with the principal, before she arrived, I was talking with the developers in the Macho Bear. And I was feeling like they liked me. And I was already inside the company, but I need to pass with the principal first. And they asked me, do you have some plans for lunch? Do you want to do something after? And I said, I have an interview with another company 3 p.m. But if everything goes well here now, I will call to the guy and say thank you, but I already have my chance. But the guys was very nice, very okay. And then I went to the interview 3 p.m. with another recruiter. So if I count this interview, actually was 4 personal interview.
Mhm.
And in this company, the company was very nice. It was a big company, more than 40 employees, a company with more than 15 years in the market. So the company was very big. And I made some technical interview with JavaScript. The guy asked me some questions. I had to do some code in the paper for him. He was very nice, and he said that his company was giving LMIA for the developers,
Mm.
and this was very interesting. And these were very very nice. It was very difficult to choose. And the interview finished at 3 p.m. No, after 4 p.m. And I was in the recruiter office. So after the interview, I talked with Jeffrey, that is the recruiter, and he said, "So, what do you think about the company? What do you think about between Macho Bear and this company?" And I said, "Oh, this company is very good. They are giving LMIA. Like this is the dream. If
Mm.
they are doing that for the developers, of course, it's very good." But Macho Bear is so nice. The guys were so kind, so fun. It's a very good environment. It
Mhm.
was is that I was looking for. I was looking for a small company. I'm not a fan of big companies. I like small companies when you don't need to you don't need to dress like a social suit and tie and this kind of stuff. And and I said, Macho Bear for me is very good, very good. And he said, oh, because I have a great news for you. Really? Yes, they made how do you say it?
An offer.
An offer. They made an offer for you. I said, really? Oh my god! And then I said, and he said, oh, they want you. They liked you. The test was very good. The guy said it was one of the best tests that they saw.
Mm.
And I said, oh, that's amazing. So yeah, I want, of course, because this is guaranteed. The other company was not guaranteed. I had to make, and if I want to enter in that company, I have to pass for more 2 interviews.
Mhm.
And I prefer the what is guarantee, of course. And then I said, yeah, I mean, of course. And then he said, so let's sign the contract and congratulations. So you start next Monday. And this whole process with Macho Bear, I think it took 10 days.
Mm.
I made the test on Wednesday, from Wednesday, and I received the, the offer 10 days later. Yes, fast, fast.
That's great. Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, okay.
And just so people know, you started working like right during the time where your wife got the visa. So like, if you think about it, you got a job even like before, like
Yes.
ahead of time. You know what I mean?
Yes, 1 week early,
Yeah.
because I was afraid. I got my work permit when I arrived here in February.
Mm-hmm.
I got my SIN number. This SIN number is necessary to start to work.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit concerned about what everybody was talking. And
Yeah.
I was, between if I can or cannot. It's very difficult because some people said, no, if you are here for more than 6 months, they give you the work permit, you can start. And I don't have any observation in my work permit that I need to wait my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have that. And I met some developers that they do have that. And then I said, oh, my work permit is different. And I got my SIN number. The officer didn't say anything about wait her.
Mm-hmm.
And I called the immigration office to know if I really can start to work. And they said, yes, you can. But I was a little concerned. So my
Mm-hmm.
wife and we decided to play safe. And we said, we have money. Let's wait. I will finish my course. And then I decided to wait. But 1 month and a half before she started the university, I started to look for a job because the process sometimes take a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And the company asked me if I could start 1 week early. And I said, of course, I think 1 week will not make difference.
Yeah, you already have a work permit and SIN number.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think,
ready to go.
of course I was concerned because everybody say, oh, you need to wait, oh, you can start. So I was, I don't know what to do. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know what to do. But then the company asked, I want you to start 1 week early. Okay, for me, no problem. And after, if I need to explain this for the officer, I think it will not be a problem.
Of course, you have your
Because,
SIN number. They told you you can work.
yes,
Yeah, I think what's more exciting is that even before you got a job so quickly, and it seems like a great culture. So tell me more about your first week. I mean, it's just been a week, but how are you enjoying? What's the office like? The team?
yeah, the team.
Having fun?
Yes, of course, the guys are amazing. I met a Russian developer. He's front-end developer, a Russian. I met a guy from Finland too. He is front-end developer. I met a back-end developer. His name is Fuad. He's from Kuwait, from Middle East. He's very nice. He's so nice. And I met Derek. He's the project manager. And I met a Scrum Master. He's from Kenya. The guys are amazing. They are so fun. The environment is very fun. I was like, you don't feel the pressure of the work. Mm-hmm. You work very relaxed. And the first week I was like, the first day I had to they bought me a new MacBook Air, 15 inch. Nice. Very good. That's and awesome. I take the time just to install the software, install everything that I need, and I signed the papers to be registered in the company, and I took some time to learn React because inside the company they work with React. Mm-hmm. And they said, no problem. If you don't know React, no problem. We can teach you.
That's cool.
If you really are able to learn inside the company, we can teach you. We don't need an expert. We need someone that wants to learn. Well, okay, I'm the guy, no problem. I can learn. And then I took like 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to learn React. I spent the whole day just doing some exercise. It was very good to not be an expert, but at least know the basic to help the guys. Mm-hmm. And then Wednesday, I asked to the Russian guy if he could give me some tasks because I was excited to start to help the guys. And then he gave me one simple task, just one functionality to click in a button and show a text, and if you click again, hide the text. Very simple, just to know if I really know about React. And I made that in 2 hours. He said it was very fast. He was happy, and he gave me another task, and then I am starting to help the guys now with the code. And the company is very great. Every Friday, everybody lunches together in a restaurant. The company pays, so they are very open-minded. They have a fridge with a lot of soda and cans and food. It's like everybody, it's like the startups, Yeah. They have a very good environment. It's very good.
That's really cool, and it's
they have a billiards table, billiards.
Pool, yeah. Pool table.
Yeah, pool table. Yeah, they have a big pool table in the middle of the office.
That's so cool. That's so exciting. I'm excited to visit. Yes. Great. Well, do you have any maybe final words or advice for someone who might be in the beginning or even in the middle of their journey or about to come to Canada? Like, what would you say was the biggest factor for you to have such a successful experience?
Yeah, after met so many Brazilians here, I think the first advice is don't try to follow a person's plan. Every plan is different. Some people decided to come here in 1 year or 2 years or 5 years. And some people decide to stay in a homestay, in an Airbnb. Some people decide to rent his own apartment or share a room. Everybody has his own plan. So you need to decide which one is your plan. And don't try to rush. Be patient. You have your own time. Don't worry if everybody's coming here. There is a place for everybody. try to figure out what is the best for you. That's my main advice. And after you arrive here, it's normal to match Brazilians. Of course, you talk in Portuguese. Don't worry. If you speak in English with the Brazilians, and they speak with you, they are good friends. But if you met somebody that, even if you try to speak in English and they keep speaking Portuguese, that's a problem. But you will find some Brazilian people here that really like to speak English. If you start to speak English, they will start to speak as well. So no problem. Everybody say, go to Canada and avoid Brazilians. If you see a Brazilians in one side you walk, cross the street. No, it's not like that. It's very difficult. It's not so easy, like we say. You will match a lot, but this is good because you can share your experience. You can see how is their plan. And you will learn a lot with their plan. And sometimes we will face some difficult problems. Sometimes not everything here is amazing. Like you will face some problems. You have some difficult moments, but you have to believe why you are here. You need to find a reason to stay here, because a reason to come here is different than a reason to stay here in Canada. Sometimes in some months you think that this is not the best idea. You want to go back to Brazil because it's better. In Brazil it's easier. Everybody talks your language. You have your friends. But you need to think why you're here. I'm here because I want to have my family here. They have good schools. They respect you here. They respect your taxes that you are paying. Everything that you pay here, you get a return. You pay a health insurance from the province here, and you can have doctor for free if you are paying, and you pay like $36 a month per person. It's around that. I'm not sure on the price, but so I decided to come here because this is a good place to have my kids. And don't worry, every problem has an end, and after a problem comes a good moment, and you have good and bad moments. And don't worry, I have a bigger problem when I started to look for a job, because my money was almost over, and then I decided to, oh my God, I need to run. I need to find a job as soon as possible. I was thinking jobs in Starbucks, in Tim Hortons. I was so worried. But then when you match the right persons, and I matched the right persons inside the VanHack, because to find a job, you need to prepare yourself. The preparation, you take like 6 months. To find a job, you can take in 1. But if you don't prepare yourself, you will not find a job. I just got a job because I have a good LinkedIn profile. And I had help with my resume, with my cover letters, with the interview practice, with my personal website. So all this kind of stuff is, I got help with professionals. So I can guarantee it's not a waste of money. You need to, how can I say? You need to invest in yourself. That's the best investment. And find VanHack was the best investment that I could have, because of course a recruiter found me in LinkedIn. A recruiter introduced me to the company and he got me the interview. But the recruiter will not find me if I didn't have a good profile in LinkedIn. And if I didn't match the right persons inside the VanHack, because this recruiter was helping another VanHackers, and I didn't know that. And he said that he could help me. So that's my advice. You have your own plan. Don't worry about the other people's plan. And came here and find a reason to stay here in Canada, and this will be so much easier for you.
Awesome. Fantastic. I really like what you said there. It's the saying of, if you want to cut down a tree, take the first 5 hours to sharpen the axe, and then 1 hour to cut the tree, instead of just with the dull axe.
Just to complement, if you see like in the Olympic Games, the athletics guys, they prepare for 4 years just to run 10 seconds. That's the reason. They prepare themselves for 4 years to the Olympic Games to run just 10 seconds, like Usain Bolt. So this is not luck, it's preparation. It's not luck.
Yeah, that's true, and I really appreciate Andre your words, your sharing your experience. Congratulations again! It's super
Thank
exciting.
you.
I think you proved that it's possible. You the right strategy, and I'm sure many people will be inspired and take a lot of value from the thoughts that you just shared. So thank you. And I just want to quickly say to everyone who's listening to this. We have an awesome event coming up in less than 2 months now. The Van Hackathon will happen from October 21st to 23rd. So if you're listening to this before then, go to vanhack.com/hackathon to sign up. And we're going to have great companies like Shopify and Hootsuite participating, looking for developers, designers, tech talent to join their teams. And of course, Andre is a member of our VanHack Premium area. And there's a lot of stuff we can do to help you with that, which I'm sure Andre explained already here. So if you want to like, share, subscribe, all that stuff to get more episodes like this, and make sure you sign up to the VanHack to vanhack.com and create an account to find jobs that will want to sponsor your visa. So thanks so much again, Andre. I'll see you soon, and all the best. Enjoy your next weekend and the rest of your time working with Macho Bear.
Thank you for the help. And when you arrive here, we need to make a barbecue with everybody.
Definitely. Awesome. Cheers.